Hello everyone, it's Yan and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna show you the September layout of my bullet journal. September is the start of my favorite time of the year and I decided to decorate everything in Harry Potter style. I'm a huge fan of the books, the movies, I'm a Potterhead, so I had a lot of room for creativity in here and I think it turned out pretty cool. So let's start with the title page. I, as always, decorated with the name of the month and I used the Harry Potter font. I also added some elements to the page like the broom. I decided to add the footprints from the map. I added some stickers and a polyjuice potion. At first it had to be a Felix Felicis, but then I decided, okay, I'm gonna do a border of Slytherin, so it's gonna be a polyjuice potion. And as I mentioned, this month I decided to do borders on the pages, which was a very big mistake for me. Turns out that my bullet journal has very thin pages and everything printed out on the other side. It was a bit bummer, but still I had to be consistent with it, so I went on with the borders. So let's see how I did it. As usual, I started with the name of the month. This time it was a bit more challenging because I had to be consistent with a specific style of font, but it was really cool and I like how it turned out. Didn't want to fill in with colors, so I just colored it with the liner. I use, by the way, 0.7 liner and it's easier for me to navigate with it. So I filled in the letters and I think it turned out pretty good. I also usually use at most 3 theme colors of the month. This time I used a lot. I decided to use the colors of the 4 houses in Harry Potter and I also used black and gray. At first I was afraid with a lot of colors, but then in the end everything fit perfectly with each other. After the lettering, I started writing down the calendar, of course. It's very convenient for me. And then I started doing the footprint drawing. I cannot draw very well, but I think it turned out really good. Also, I started drawing the vial, and again, I think it turned out not bad at least, but personally I like how it looked. And then I decided to add some more footprints in the upper corner. Drawing the broom was one of the funniest things for this month's layout. It was pretty cool. I took an image of a broom from Pinterest, but I also changed it a bit to my style and I like how it turned out. I thought I'm gonna struggle with this, but it was cool. And then I started coloring. Of course, the broom had to be brown because of the wood, duh. And I then started drawing the handle with metallic color, metallic gold. These are some new brush pens I bought and this was the first time I was using them, so I decided to go on with the border also and to try them a bit more. And I think the brush pens themselves were good, but as I mentioned already, the pages were very thin and everything printed out. Anyway, for the title page I decided to use Slytherin colors and then I colored also the polyjuice potion. At last I decided to color the footprints also because in the movies they are black and also I really liked this liner, so I wanted to use it a bit more. On the second page, as always, I have important dates and plans of the month. For September, I didn't think of any important dates, but I think throughout the month I will fill in this part of the page. And on the plans of the month, I decided to include stuff like be consistent with the gym, be healthy, etc. On the side of the page, I decided to draw a wand. It came from my mind, and overall, I think it looks good. So as always, I started with the painting part and I started with the wand for this page. I really drew something that I had in mind. I don't know, I just improvised. And then I started lettering. For the important dates, as I already mentioned, I didn't have any important dates. I thought really hard, but I couldn't think of any. So for the lettering part, I didn't go really crazy. I just tried to stay consistent with the font, and I did the same for the plants of the month lettering. And for the plants of the month, I already kind of said what I wrote down for this part, but again, I decided to use the same as previous month because I didn't accomplish anything then, and in the previous video I really told what I wrote down. For this time I decided to use highlights and write the plans on them, and I used tapes to have straighter lines, and this was a game changer. I also decided to stick to a specific color theme for each page, so as you notice, this page was in slithering colors. That's why the highlights are in gray and green. And for the last touches, I just color the letters and write down the actual plants. As usual, my next page is my trackers, and this time I decided to go in a different way. So this month I decided to use the house point vessels for keeping track of my habits, and of course I used the colors of the houses of Hogwarts, and here I have sports, eating healthy, level up, the book that I'm reading, and productivity. And as I already mentioned, each page has a border of a different color, so this is Hufflepuff colors, and to have a bit more depth I added a sticker to the corner. It was a huge task to create this page. I have tried it many times and eventually got it. At first I drew the lines because these page had a lot of lines and I had to get them straight, and then I started drawing the 30 sections for each vessel. These are indicating the dates of the month, and then I started decorating. I decided to draw the house banners on the top of each vessel that will indicate the house and its color. I also decided to add some color on the top, creating this look of the points filling the vessel, and I then wrote down the actual habits that I'm going to keep track of. On the second page I have my mood tracker. I decided to do a vial of Felix Felicis filled with a potion. Below I have the color-coded moods. Red is happy, and yellow is average, green is angry, and blue is sad. And the potion is separated to dates. So this was pretty easy to draw. I decided to have these small vials of inks that are responsible for the color coding of the moods, and I think it's pretty cute. I decided to have a brown lid on the vial, of course, and above the dates, whenever I feel like average or angry, I will fill in the corresponding line of the potion with the corresponding color of my mood. It's very easy, and I think everyone understands how this works. The next page is my reading tracker. This time I decided to change it a bit, so I decided to have this bookshelf with actual books, and the names of the books are the books that I'm reading now. So for example, I have green color coded Lord of the Rings that I'm reading, and yeah. On the second page I have the actual tracker, so I have the number of pages, and this time I decided to include also chapters for mangas because I'm reading mangas. And I decided not to write down all of the dates of the month, so whenever I read something I will write down the date and the number of chapters. This month a lot of things are changing in my bullet journal, and I have another page. It's my YouTube and Instagram planner. It's pretty much simple. I just drew down the calendar layout, and whenever I do something about any post to YouTube or Instagram, I will write down in here what I did, the deadlines, and stuff like that. And I also included YouTube ideas and Instagram ideas. For the planning this month, I decided to use a running list. I've tried it, it didn't fit me, but maybe this time will be different. More about the running list, I will shoot another video, so wait for it. So this was it for the September layout. I think it turned out pretty good. However, I was very disappointed with my journal and its really thin pages. In fact, I already have a new journal. It's empty yet. I was planning to wait till January and start it as a New Year's bullet journal. It's gonna be very interesting also because I'm planning to have several collections for the year, but seeing how this journal turned out with its thin pages, I'm thinking of not waiting till January. Anyway, there will be another video on the collections. I just don't know if it will be in the January or now. But for now, that's it. I hope you liked it. I had a lot of fun creating this month layout. And yeah, thank you for watching and bye!